Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to connect Azure Document Intelligence to Claude AI models. Now what you see in front of you here is an app we worked on in a previous video called the Document Analysis app. We were talking about Azure Document Intelligence. And so a very quick example here is if I take a random URL like Engadget, which is a tech blog, it is able to collect all the text from that page, including, dates, headlines from the front page, their different categories. And the other piece that actually relies on Azure Document Intelligence is this one right here, in which we can upload a file. And so here I have an image of my t-shirt. I'll analyze a document, and it's going to extract the text out of it. Now I picked a JPEG, but more naturally this should be document files, PDFs, scans, things like this. But I just took a picture of my t-shirt just to show you kind of the breadth and the capabilities of Azure Intelligence. And so I was wearing an Adidas t-shirt, so that's where the three-stripe life comes from. And I also had stickers from museums and art galleries, I guess, in San Francisco. So, this is obviously a first step. It's useful, and I suppose we could copy the results, put it into ChatGPT, start asking questions. But where I want to take this is to its next logical step. I frequently ask the same questions on the same related types of files over and over and over and over. And so I'm going to throw a hypothetical, but let's say I'm a financial analyst and all day long I just look at stock reports. I want to be able to upload a PDF, of course, get the text, and every time I'm asking the AI the same questions. What was the, say, earnings per share? How does it compare to what I predicted? Was there anything unexpected? Is there a large expense? Is there any risk? Blah, 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 blah. I'm not a financial analyst, so I'm making this up. I'm probably wildly off, but you can imagine that the same questions will show up whether I'm looking at a stock report from Apple or Google or Microsoft or even a gold mine somewhere in Mexico. Who knows? So, what I wanted to do is build that next logical step. And for me, I just started writing out a prompt here. And I wanted to show you guys the thought process here, because less and less are we probably going to write code on our own on this channel, and more we're going to rely on Claude Sonnet, Gemini Pro, ChatGPT, and so on. So first of all, I'm going to ask it to help me build a single page web app. I'm asking for it to build it in plain JavaScript and HTML, which means that it's not going to go off the rails and try and use React or some other framework. I just want it plain and simple, one HTML file. I'm asking for something really simple here. Of course, as you build out the tool, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The basic idea is to allow people to drag and drop doc, docx, PDF, and other files into an area, and it will paste the text into an area, into another area somewhere. Extract and paste the text into another area somewhere. So that's what our document analysis app has already done. We can drag and drop a PDF file. It's going to paste the text after it extracts it out somewhere. The next bit, I want a sidebar for options, including a Claude API key. So I want to make this available for different people as well. I don't want to be on the hook because sometimes these are very long documents, lots of tokens, very expensive. So let them use their own key, let them choose their own model, and I guess we could build this out later on to support other models as well. Now next, With the text, I want a series of text inputs below, and the user can add more that the user can input questions into. And so what I'm hoping is just a bunch of short text inputs here, little, single line bars where I can ask, are there any surprises? Are there any big expenses exceeding $1 million? Is there blah, 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 blah. So a series of questions that we can ask. The questions they put in should be saved to local storage to be available and loaded the next session. And so on this next part here, the idea is that whatever questions we put in, we're just going to save it as local storage on their computer. This is built into the web browser, but what that means is you have very little data to work with, but a series of text questions should be fine. You're storing this text so that the next time they load the web page, those questions are already there. They don't have to fix it every single time, but every time they change it, hopefully it saves in the background and it's going to update it's going to stay there every time they click refresh, add a new document, whatever. From there, I want to send Claude the text extracted from the document, then ask each question in sequence about the document. The answer will be put below each text input. I think that's pretty obvious. We have that big block of text, we have a series of questions. Send the first question off to the AI, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, and we're going to output the response below. I gave it some starting code because the Claude API, publicly available, I'm asking Claude to write Claude API calls. I think it'll be fine on that front. But it has no idea how we built the back end here. And if you haven't seen that video, you should probably start with that one first so that you know how to build this back end on Azure Functions so that you have this available. But Claude has no idea how that works, so I gave it just the bare minimum working code to start with. And now I'm going to send this off and see what the response is. So as it's coming up here, just get a comment as a sidebar as requested. There's a drop zone. That's always nice to see. Extracted text. So all these are styles so that there is a certain look to the website. I think in general, the sidebar should be pretty even the HTML structure should be pretty obvious. There's just not a whole lot in there that we needed to do. So just one kind of input and label, model, drag and drop, extracted text, add a question. Hey, that's pretty good actually. We are getting some console messages here because it's running within Claude. But if we download this and click it here, hopefully we won't have the same errors. We'll go through whether this works and how this code all looks, but I'm going to just drag and drop my t-shirt photo in here again. And I guess, add question, let's say, which museums did I go to? And let's zoom in so everyone can see. I need an API key. So I'm going to pause my video really quickly here to grab an API key. And I'm back. So I pasted an API key. Let's just use Haiku to keep it simple. And I'm going to, well, I had the question. I'm going to analyze the document. We failed to get a response. Okay. So I think Claude doesn't like it when we directly connect to it. I forgot about that. So I have no particular interest in sticking with Claude, so I'm going to switch to OpenAI. And we switch to OpenAI instead. All right, so that was an oversight, but now we have one with OpenAI keys. Once again, we're going to download, we'll open the file, and we'll paste a key here. This time, this should be an OpenAI key, and I just got to find a file here, drag and drop. It'll take a couple seconds for the extracted text. And I should probably check the developer tools. Just took a little bit of time. We'll add questions. Which museums did I go to? There's something wrong here, so we'll see if that makes a difference, but we'll analyze the document. Very good. Based on the document text, you went to the following museums: De Young and Legion of Honor. So that is pretty cool. The last step that I wanted to check is if I refresh, what is saved. So unfortunately, only the OpenAI key is saved. So I want to first tell Claude, hey Claude, I get this error, but it doesn't seem to affect functionality. Also, local storage isn't working. I want the questions to be saved for the next. To be saved and loaded on refresh, because I will add a standard set of questions. So I'm asking Claude to do two things here. One is there is this add question input. There's a reference error, so I don't know what the problem is. But the other one I'm asking for is that refresh. So, sorry, not this one, this one. If I refresh, I would like this question to remain. So I would like it to still be here. I wonder what this Lodash script is. But, well, I guess we'll download this again. Think this is short enough that it's outputting the whole thing every time. But just be warned, if your web app starts getting large enough, Claude will start skipping sections and just telling you what we'll start just what do you call it, skipping sections so that it can save some of the response length, and then you're supposed to like copy and paste into it. Let's open this up. I'll close the previous ones. Very good that these are already there. What are the main points? And let's see if I refresh, it stays the same. And so I will remove this one and this one, refresh. Oh, that's pretty cool. So if it's empty, it'll delete it. Which museums did I go to? And once again, I'll do this. And I'm going to use 3.5 turbo just to save me a fraction of a penny here. And analyze. Cool. Let's see if I have a readily available document here. Okay, I'm going to refresh. We're going to drag a longer document here. This is a press release for in-house counsel. And it's reporting about compensation and career survey reports. It's not an overly long document, so I'm asking, what are the main points? Is this worth reading? What is the main conclusion? And we'll analyze document. This time it's a little bit longer, and it is using GPT-4, so it'll take a little bit longer for us to get a response. And I should, as usual, grab this so I can check out the console in case any errors show up. None yet. Okay, the main points, it broke it out into pieces. Another great way to build this out is that the responses are probably in Markdown. So we might want to get a Markdown library and parse this through Markdown. The responses will be in Markdown. Can you find a library and parse the Markdown instead of pasting it as plain text? This will give it better formatting. If we use Markdown, it has the ability to put headers, bullets, paragraphs, and so on. But nevertheless, there's been a significant increase in the average base salary for in-house counsel in Canada, blah, blah, blah. So this was fair enough. If these topics are not relevant to you, you might not find it as valuable. I guess that is a fair point. We're just gonna wait for this last one to build out. And we'll download this and open it up. Put the same one. I think if we want to build this out, the video is getting a bit long, but if we want to build this out, I want to put a couple more options here that can change the base prompt and give it a bit of context as well. So, for example, if I want to use this as a financial analyst, I will say, I will give it a persona that I'm a financial analyst. I'm looking at stock reports all day long. I only care about the tech sector, blah, 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 blah. If I am doing this for homework, and I can just say, I'm a student with say a Bachelor of Commerce, and everything I'm doing is related to a program in finance and homework related, whatever, and it will probably take a very different outlook. We might even give it different prompts as well, just to say if there's any system information to put in of please respond in great detail or in very short bullet points or at a grade 10 reading level. So I would put in a few more options, maybe with an advanced tab. And I also don't like that the sidebar is fixed. I would probably put it as a collapsible sidebar. Okay, let's analyze the document and see if we get Markdown format, if it parses Markdown correctly. Perfect. So Claude has been even more excellent than usual lately. I was expecting I might have to get hands-on a little bit, but this is a very, 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 very acceptable mock-up. All right. I hope you found that helpful. This is a short video building something that I think will be incredibly useful for me. I kind of wish I built this a while back, but even though it's a short document, short period of time right now, you do realize that we had a previous video. So to make this all work so seamlessly, you needed to build the document analysis app first. And I do really recommend you look at my library and find the Azure Document Intelligence video. In fact, I should just put a link right in the comments and maybe in the video itself as well. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next week when we do another useful project. Bye.